In 2017, I began a journey that I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would take. It was a journey in writing that I was invited to take courtesy of Pat Contry, or Pat the NES Punk, a man whose video work I had been a fan of since 2012. In fact, I remember when he asked me to contribute to this project back in 2016 at Retro World Expo, I was floored that he even asked me to be a part of it. I had been contributing articles to RetroWare TV at the time, and Pat has ties to RetroWare TV. He used to be a contributor there before he set out on his own. So when we got to talking and he asked me to be a contributor, of course I jumped at the opportunity. I mean, who wouldn't? When someone who you've been a fan of for years asks you to help out on a project, it is very difficult, I would think, for you to pass that up. For me, it was an instant yes. So in 2017, got my game assignments. I got about 40 games more than I thought I was going to get. I started out with 85 games that I was tasked to play, take screenshots of, and write 400-word review/reflections sections for. And we needed to get that done. The target was to get that done, I believe it was by the September of the next year. So it was like a year and a half between March 2017 and September, October 2018, somewhere around there. The deadline wound up getting extended, even though I was able to finish mine under the wire. And I even took on, I think it was 3 more games to cover in order to get us to our final deadline and to get us to print. So today, or yesterday now, because it's just past midnight, but on the 14th of November, 2019, this came in the mail. This is the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the NES, the SNES library. That is Pat Contry's name on the cover, but there is a team of contributors of which I am a member. I contributed, I believe, 88 reviews worth times 400 words, roughly, so you do the math. I think it's well over 30,000 words, I know that. And it is a very proud moment. And when I look back on it, it was one heck of a ride, honestly. 2017, when I took this job in 2016, I was working as a day-to-day substitute teacher. I was taking substitute assignments so I could work when I wanted to work. So I figured when I accepted this that I was going to have free time. I could take, instead of 5 days of working a week, I could take 4 and dedicate a day just to working on the book. And in the summer of 2017, I wound up getting hired as a full-time substitute teacher for a middle school. So my schedule all of a sudden changed. Now, I probably should have spent more time in the summer of 2017 working on the project, but I am a procrastinator at heart. And while I did do some reviews that summer, I kind of lollygagged a little bit. I was working on promoting Retro World Expo, and there were some other things that were going on. My dog's health was failing, and after Retro World Expo that year, the dog did pass. So my life was kind of going up and down and up and down. I was dealing with some health issues too. And there were some times that I was wondering whether I was going to get all of these reviews done. And if it wasn't for Pat and for our awesome editor, Ashton, kind of keeping me on the straight and narrow, asking all the right questions, giving just the right feedback so I could get things done and turned in on time, their flexibility, their support, I don't know if I would have been able to get it done. But it's done, and the book is here. And it is absolutely awesome to know that I was able to help out in getting a book like this to press, that there is a book that is available that people can buy or have already bought and received and have started to read that I had some kind of a hand in. As someone who's been writing for a long time, although I started out badly, I started out writing NES reviews back in the late 90s. And my writing was not very good back then. I was always changing my perspectives, and some of my grammar wasn't very good. I was always writing in the first person for some strange reason because I thought that's what you should do, and it took me a while to learn that's not the way to do it. I did grow over time. I wound up latching onto a couple of different websites, and I grew as a writer. And if it wasn't for my work with RetroWare TV, which was awesome because I was a fan of RetroWare TV too, so being able to write and contribute some pieces under the Constellation logo for RetroWare TV really helped me get an in with Pat and give me the opportunity to work with him and for him during that time. And to look back now at what I wrote, and I can almost remember some of the games that I was playing and when I turned those game reviews in, when I was playing them, some of the things that I went through. One of the reviews that I did that wasn't a sports game was Gradius 3, and I had never beaten Gradius 3 until I had played it for review. So it was really awesome to do that. I pitched a no-hitter in Super Bases Loaded, which I had never done. So I had the opportunity to do that for the first time, and that was thanks to this project. So there were milestones in there. There were trials and tribulations as well. It was a journey. It was an adventure like I never had imagined that I would have. And now here we are. It's now officially done. The book is now out. People are reading it. People are buying it. And it is the proudest moment of my life, I think. And I have been on this earth now for almost 48 years, and it means a lot. I remember, even as an adult, still being a video game fan, and my mom would rag on me for, why do you play video games so gosh darn much? Never going to amount to anything. It's a waste of time. And now, I made a little bit of money on this project. We got paid for our work, and I've been published. And my mom's comment was the first one I got on Facebook when I posted a picture of the book. So that was pretty neat. I want to thank my family for being supportive. Family and friends were awesome during this whole adventure. I also want to thank a lot of the students that I have worked with in my jobs over the last couple of years. I've talked about the book with them. They were really excited to know that I was going to be published, and now I'm going to be taking this book to my job with me next week and showing it off. Even though it is a heavy book and my backpack is going to be quite heavy, it's going to be neat to show that off in person. That's really, really exciting stuff. And I do want to thank Pat, and I'm not sure that Pat is going to watch this, but Pat gave me the opportunity of a lifetime, and I'll never forget it. I'm not sure if I have another one of these in me. He did ask me if I was interested in maybe doing another one afterwards. I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit, or at least how many reviews I can do. I certainly had a lot on my plate last time, and I proved to myself that I could do it, but it was a lot of work. So I will have to consider it. But the fact that he gave me this opportunity of a lifetime, I will not forget it. I think the world of Pat. I think he knows it. And I think the world of our entire contributor team, who worked just as hard, if not harder, than I did. Having sports games made my life easier because I had a lot of familiarity with these games up front, and because it's easy for me to identify with these games and play through them, go through the motions, write things about them, combine that with my original experiences, and it was much easier than it would be for someone who is playing an RPG that's like 40, 50, 60 hours in length, for example. That requires a lot of time and effort and really blocking time to get that done. For me, I can play sports games in bursts. I can play a little bit at a time, check out the different modes, make sure I have all of my information in a row, and then condense that into 400 words. It is much more difficult for people who are playing adventure games or RPGs. When I was playing games like Gradius 3 or Batman Returns, those are short enough that I can play those in one sitting. I can blast through those in one sitting and then get all of my words out, and it's only like 2 or 3 hours worth of time, not nearly the time investment as it takes for some other games that some other contributors did. And last but not least, I want to thank those people who have either bought the book already and are reading it, or those who are considering buying the book. Without your support, the book probably never would have happened. It certainly required a crowdfunding investment up front, which was very successful. And without that, I couldn't have had this dream come true. So thanks to all of those people, my family, to Pat, to Ashton, and to all of the people who have bought and read the book, my sincere thanks. Whether there'll be another one with me in it, I don't know. I certainly haven't talked to Pat. I don't know what the future holds, but maybe we will see what happens. Thanks as always for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.